A factory on the moon sounds insane until Elon Musk made it the requirement. Not a city, not a flag, a working factory built from alien ground. This is where the impossible starts feeling uncomfortable, because this brick is real. And this isn't concept art. NASA already tested a printed Mars habitat on Earth. Then Mars gave us the next clue. Its air can become oxygen. No one has built this base yet, but the machines are no longer fantasy. The proof is scattered across Earth. Printers, habitats, oxygen makers, reactors. Now the question is brutal. Can those pieces survive another world? The moon becomes the test yard, close enough to fail and try again. And if that works, Mars stops being a destination. It becomes a work site. Landing at the lunar South Pole. Permanent sunlight on the rim. First boots down. First task, survey the site before anything else gets built. Ground radar maps what's under the dust, ice deposits, rock depth, where to dig, where not to. Robotic graders flatten the first landing pad. 1/6 gravity changes how every machine moves. First power, deployable solar arrays. At the pole, the sun never fully sets. Battery banks store power for the brief shadow periods. Even at the pole, there are gaps. A regolith berm goes up first. It blocks rocket exhaust blast from future landings and radiation later. The pressurized rover comes down next. Mobile base, workshop, shelter, all in one vehicle. The base footprint staked out by hand. Every future structure starts from this grid. Core samples confirm what the radar found. Real ice, real depth, real composition, not estimates. A compact fission reactor, kilopower class, installed for power through the 2-week lunar night. Power cables buried in shallow trenches. Every system on this base needs to share the same grid. Communications mast raised. Without this, Earth loses contact with everything happening on the ground. Site prep complete. Power, communications, mapping, mobility. Now, the real construction begins. Regolith harvesting starts here. This grey dust is the only raw material this site has. The dust is sieved into grades, fine powder for printing, coarse granules for shielding and aggregate. Magnetic separation pulls out iron-rich particles. Lunar regolith has metal in it, useful metal.
This gray powder in my hand is the entire construction industry up here. No concrete trucks, no quarries, just this.
Solar concentrators focus sunlight onto the regolith. No furnace fuel needed, just mirrors and the sun. At over 1500 degrees, lunar dust turns to liquid glass. That liquid becomes building material. Poured into molds, the molten regolith becomes solid basalt glass block. Structural, strong, free material. The same molten regolith, electrolyzed, releases oxygen, trapped in lunar rock for billions of years. That oxygen fills storage tanks, breathable air, rocket propellant oxidizer, from dust under our boots. Fine regolith mixed with polymer binder. This paste is what feeds the 3D printer next. The paste loads into feed cartridges. Every cartridge, enough material for one printed wall section. Stockpiles grow, aggregate, glass block, binder paste. Every material this base will ever need, local. Every batch tested to failure. NASA's real data. Regolith brick survives vacuum, radiation, thermal swings. The processing yard is alive. Dust goes in one end. Building material comes out the other. The printer goes up first. A gantry frame spanning the entire habitat footprint. First layer goes down. A circular wall base, slow, precise, centimeter by centimeter, layer after layer. The wall climbs. Sensors check every pass for voids or weak bonding. The dome cap is printed separately, then lifted into place. Workers seal the seam by hand. Airlock openings cut after the print. The structure has to be solid first. Openings come second. A second module starts printing immediately. This base needs more than one room. Airlock door bolted in, pressure tested immediately. A leak here means the whole module fails. Interior sealant sprayed on. The printed regolith is porous. This coating makes it airtight. Life support ducting threaded through built-in channels. Air circulation has to reach every corner. Loose regolith bags stacked over the dome exterior. A meter of dust blocks cosmic radiation completely. Module 3 goes up. The cluster is taking shape. Connected rooms, not isolated boxes. Connecting tunnels link every module. Workers move between rooms without ever suiting up again. 3 domes done. Connected, sealed, shielded. The printer is already moving to the next foundation. Power demand is rising. The solar field expands. Every new module needs more electricity. A second kilo-power class reactor installed. Redundant power. One unit failing can't shut down the base. A new foundation goes down, paved in regolith glass block. This is where rocket fuel gets made. Water ice extraction begins in the shadowed crater. Heated augers free the ice. Vapor gets captured and condensed. Water splits into hydrogen and oxygen by electrolysis. Both gases, vital. Both gases, stored separately. Cryogenic tanks installed. The gases get chilled to liquid form, denser, easier to store, ready for use.
That oxygen behind me didn't come from Earth. It came from ice that's been frozen in the dark for 4 billion years.
Iron-rich regolith gets smelted into metal ingots, the first metal ever produced off Earth, for tools, for parts. A rolling mill turns ingots into sheet metal. This base is starting to manufacture its own parts. A machine shop goes into one of the domes. Lathes, mills, for now shipped from Earth.
This is the factory, not a metaphor, an actual lathe cutting actual lunar metal. Right now.
A metal 3D printer comes online. Precision parts, bolts, brackets, printed from lunar metal. A solar panel line starts up. Lunar regolith contains silicon. The base begins making its own power hardware. This is a factory. Power, fuel, metal, parts, and panels, all made from what the moon already has. A larger dome rises, the greenhouse, wider walls, engineered for growing, not just living. Hydroponic racks installed inside, LED grow lights wired in. This dome will grow the base's food. First seedlings planted, lettuce, potatoes, the same crops NASA has already grown on the ISS. Extra shielding over the greenhouse roof. Plants are more radiation sensitive than the crew protecting them. Tunnels now link every zone. Habitat, greenhouse, workshop, fuel plant, one connected pressurized base. A paved road connects the base to the landing pad. Dust kicked up by rover's damages equipment. Paving stops it. A blast wall goes up at the pad. Future landings won't sandblast the base with high-speed regolith. A full systems test, power, air, water, fuel, every system checked together for the first time. A Starship refuels here, on the moon. Locally made oxygen, the first off-world refueling in history. A full exterior inspection. Every seal, every panel, every shielding bag, checked by hand. A permanent navigation beacon installed. Every future landing here, guided precisely to this exact base. The lunar base stands complete, built from dust, ice, and sunlight. Nothing shipped from Earth but the printer. A refueled Starship launches for Mars. The moon wasn't the destination, it was the proving ground. Mars, Arcadia Planitia, chosen for one reason. The ice is close to the surface here. First boots on Mars. The same survey process as the Moon, but now an atmosphere to work with. Ground radar confirms the ice sheet. Orbital data said it was here. Now they're standing on it. A landing pad graded flat. Mars has more gravity than the Moon. Every machine works harder here.
It's quieter here than the Moon, but there's wind. Real wind. Thin, but real. That changes everything about how you build.
Solar panels deployed, angled for Mars's dustier sky. Less direct sunlight here than on the Moon. A bigger reactor array goes in. Mars dust storms can block the sun for weeks. Backup power isn't optional. A protective berm rises around the site. Mars has some atmosphere, but nowhere near enough shielding. A pressurized rover built for Martian terrain. Bigger wheels, softer ground, different planet, different machine. The drill hits ice, solid, confirmed. This is the resource the entire Mars plan depends on. An atmospheric processor starts pulling in Martian air, 95% carbon dioxide. That's the feedstock. Cables buried between every system. Same method as the Moon, proven there, repeated here. Comms mast raised, aligned to Earth. At this distance, a message takes between 4 and 24 minutes. Site prep complete on Mars. Same steps as the Moon, different planet, same discipline. The Mars fuel plant foundation goes down, bigger than the lunar version. A Starship needs far more propellant here. Water extraction begins. Heated augers melt the subsurface ice. Vapor rises, gets captured, gets condensed. Water splits by electrolysis. Hydrogen on one line, oxygen on the other, both essential, both stored. Martian air compressed and filtered, pure carbon dioxide extracted. This becomes rocket fuel, soon.
This reactor combines Martian CO2 with hydrogen from the ice. The output? Methane. The exact fuel a Starship burns.
The Sabatier reactor sealed and pressure tested. CO2 plus hydrogen with a catalyst makes methane and water. First methane flows. Workers confirm purity. This gas, made from Martian air and Martian ice, is rocket fuel. Cryogenic tanks installed, sized for a full Starship refuel. 900 tons of oxygen, 260 of methane. More reactors added in parallel. One unit alone would take decades to fill a Starship. Many units, faster. Propellant levels climbing, slowly. NASA's own data says scaling this up is the real engineering challenge. Dust brushes installed on the solar field. Martian dust settles on everything. Power output recovers after each sweep. The fuel plant runs. Water, air, and sunlight going in. Rocket propellant and breathable oxygen coming out. The same printer design from the Moon, reinforced for Mars's gravity, proven technology, adapted, not reinvented. Martian regolith mixed with binder, red instead of gray, but the same construction principle exactly. First layer down on Mars. The exact same printing process, different color, same chemistry, same machine. Thicker shielding here than on the Moon. Mars's atmosphere is thin. Radiation protection still depends on this dust. Modules 2 and 3 rise together. The base grows faster now. Every lesson from the Moon applied immediately. Connecting tunnels link the modules. The exact design proven on the Moon. Now standard practice here too. The greenhouse dome rises, bigger than the Moon's because Mars gets less usable sunlight through its dusty sky. Hydroponic racks installed, LED lights wired in, the exact lunar design adapted for a colder Martian interior. A smelter goes up, Martian iron this time. Mars's regolith is even richer in iron than the Moon's. The Mars workshop comes online. Lathes, mills, a metal printer, manufacturing parts from Martian iron. The Mars factory takes shape. Fuel, metal, food, shelter, all from what this planet already provides. Roads paved between every zone, Martian dust is finer and clingier than lunar dust. A taller blast wall at the Mars pad. Atmospheric landings kick up more dust than the airless moon ever did. A starship refuels here, on Mars. Locally made methane, locally made oxygen. The return trip becomes possible. Final inspection. Every seal, every panel, every shielding layer checked by hand, just like the moon. The Mars base stands complete, built the same way the moon was, step by step, material by material. 2 bases, 2 worlds, built using the same 9-step process, proven on the moon, repeated on Mars. That brick from the start of this video, that's the same material holding up every dome you just watched rise. MOXIE made oxygen by the gram, scaled up. The same chemistry fills a starship's tanks. A return flight, fueled entirely on Mars, no propellant shipped from Earth for the trip home. He said factories on the moon and Mars. Not currency, not a number. Mass, energy, and what you can build with it. This is not built yet. None of this exists today, but every piece of it already does on Earth, right now.
We brought this concept to life, step by step, using only technology that already exists on Earth today. Subscribe for more.